So this is losers.
Uh,
No, it's not. No, I lied.
No, it's winners.
For some reason, I thought Joe had lost that first match that we saw.
No,
Ooh, that heavy nerf to that unusable 2A plus B now.
Yeah, if Azwel can sidestep it, it's definitely an unusable. Well, you know what? Never mind. Seems pretty useful. Nice.
Yeah,
Get
it
the
does.
IGR.
Now, these guys have played quite a handful of times. We are dealing with something with massive amounts of walls, but we're going to deal with a situation where whichever character has their back to the wall is actually at the advantage.
Yeah, it definitely could be. Well, I mean, Cervantes have really good wall pressure forward facing as well. But as we saw, the classic hyruleherojoe of just wait and do spear arts when his opponent's trying to approach him. Understage just blocking it out.
Oof. So eventually that Axel was going to be coming because Enders is definitely lazily sized quite a lot. Oh, what a pickup!
Yeah, finally the sword heart's coming through for Joe, hitting him up off the wall, but that's going to be a big whiff punish. He goes for the wall check, but again, he's just mashing him out.
Dude, no walls for Enders. You are not allowed to go on the wall. That is the main thing that Joe is trying to look for right now. He ends up tying it up.
Joe, acting like the high school bully, pushing Enders J up against the metaphorical locker.
Yeah, definitely a very bushy bully. We're going to see if Enders is able to figure something out. It looks like his sidestep is still getting... I mean, Enders is being very timid, very cautious, and trying to do what I always talk about when dealing with Azwel, is allowing him to effectively kill himself. The problem is that his sidesteps are getting caught so much by some of this axe pressure that the Azwel player... That's a good punish. And so, yeah, he is going to eat a little bit of damage just based on the fact... Okay, yeah, so it's really... So this is what I was talking about when it comes to... Soul Throat activation and such brilliance. I'll let this round go before I say that... Okay, so this is what I was talking about when it comes to mashing when you see Azwel in Axe. So even though Enders was at disadvantage, he still mashed a 2A to try and make, at the very least, get the Axe low to clash, because if you get the clash, then Azwel doesn't have a weapon anymore, and that's why... Joe had to activate Soul Charge in that situation.
Yes, it is, and weaponless Azwel is a very important thing to exploit.
Ugh. Oh, that's safe? Oh, right, Azwel's reversal edge was terrible.
Yes, it is, but gonna get shot in the face. Akin to, you know what, never mind.
Yeah, he got shot up like Sonny at the toll booth. There you go.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be meter versus meter here. Both characters have a meter that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Both these characters definitely really good in Soul Charge, especially in Season 2. Cervantes with that A6B doing so much, has the flash IDGR coming through.
I feel like he was trying to roll that situation, but you have to get up if it's in Soul Charge. Okay, so Soul Charge of his own, but he has some ground to make up.
He does just throw an axe at him, push him against the wall, and Soul Charge from Enders J gonna knock him away. You gonna see teleports. Wow.
You know what, Enders? You totally deserve it. If there's one thing that Joe showed at the very beginning of this game is that he's 100% looking for Cervantes to do off-the-wall stuff. So you know what? I feel no pity for you. You should have figured that is exactly 1.2 billion% exactly what Joe was going to do.
Yes, and the Savior's power. It's every time it lands, it's a special moment.
Yeah, it's like seeing the full moon.
Right?
And it happens even more rarely.
It definitely does. It's like an eclipse. Which uncommon. They're not that uncommon, right? They actually happen all the time, but you just may not see one for a while.
Well, it depends on which moon.
Right. I like your anti-joke, Jay.
Yeah. It was so good that it sapped all the energy from the room. Alright, so we got breakable walls here. This is going to be a pretty powerful stage for both characters. Oh, it's a real shame that freebie missed. But both of these characters, I believe, have pretty easy ways of getting ring outs if they get like the very last wall hit.
Yeah, they both can convert in that pretty decently, and now Enders is just running up and just hitting him with all these launchers.
Yeah, it looks like Enders is kind of going to his normal, typical process of coming into his opponent's face into either a grab or one of the really strong mids that Cervantes has. And it looks like he feels much more comfortable going for a 3B because Azwel, I think without sword, doesn't actually have the ability to punish it.
No, he's not, but going in hard with this axe pressure has so much Oki. Okay, nice. Good duck from Enders J, but doesn't get the punish. And speaking of punishes, we got one when he's in Spear, and it's one of the best from crouch launchers in the entire game.
Yeah, I think what ended up happening is this is kind of what Anders was hoping to avoid in the first game by trying to go through the side steps. Is that the kind of pressure that Anders is putting up does kind of put him in a situation where he might run into more things. So it looks now that Anders has gone back to the original style that he had in the first round or in the first game, where he's just hard sidestepping shades of Xander coming out. So if Joe goes back to going into Axe and then just doing stuff like that, then I think it'll be a lot more successful than going through sword or spear stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And now he's getting a lot of work done. Gets the wall rising A, knocks him down, gets the axe Oki, and this is what Joe wants. Doing all these horizontals, and Anders is trying to get these side steps, but he can't step around all these big horizontals we're seeing on Joe. But now this is a bad spot for Joe.
Oh, we got a bit of spaghetti going on, so he ends up spending a bar. Oh, okay, so bar for bar, which is something that Anders is totally fine with. Okay.
Oh, wow. And
he lost a round, but still he's going to be up on bar, and he has his guard break happening. And I just want to mention, I don't normally shout myself out all that often, but did anybody notice that as I was explaining exactly what Joe had to do, he immediately started doing it and he won a second round?
Yeah, you're pretty good at this. Yeah, you're pretty good.
I'm pretty good at talking and pretending like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 bars for... That is a lot of A6s that Joe is going to have to deal with. I really wish he would get up off of the ground in that situation, because it's not a good idea. Ooh, tried to get the soul charge activation. I would have definitely fallen for that.
He did. Okay, now this is where Azwel is at his strongest in soul charge, and we didn't see the sword throw whiff punish there. On
I think he was way too heavily on the axe mix-ups, and he's getting a little bit obnoxious with them. I don't know so much about. Oh, fantastic! And that's it.